What's up, everybody? My name is Ra of Earth. This is Astro Monday. We are going to be bringing up Christopher Witecki in a little bit. We do this show every single week. And so, what I'm interested in right now, while we're waiting for Chris, is who listened to the show last week was that we choose the easy choice. And that also the caveat to that was that the easy choice may not be the quickest. It may not be the fastest. And so in the long run, easier, but in the short term, we may have to wait for the outcome. And that definitely was relevant for me in my life. Wondering if you guys have any examples in your life. I'm going through a transition. We're thinking about moving, actually. And so that was like one of the major life things that we're going through. And the night before last week's show is when that whole thing got laid out on the table. And Chris also said that last week we would get challenged. That choice or that belief or that opportunity would come up for you to decide if you really desire it or not. And so it would get challenged around Thursday or Friday or Wednesday or Thursday, I forget the exact names. But then it would get fortified over the weekend. And he was also saying that this is a choice that will determine a long time period without you. So lots of people actually saying they're moving too. Yeah, I mean, is there an easy choice? Remember, easy isn't quick. Easy is like if I look at what my heart is really tuning into, what seems like it's going to be easy to align with the circumstances of my life. Etherical belly dance is saying, I've been so anxious. So let's wait for Chris and we will figure it out. Here he's coming up right now. We will figure out maybe why that is. Lots of people. Tanya is saying, I want to move too.
Hello, sir.
Christopher, what's going on?
Yeah, I think we're all coasting into a new kind of playing field. Do you feel a shift over the weekend? I mean, that's
Over
gonna put
the
your pressure on you.
weekend.
I
Yeah,
mean, well, we're in Monday, so it's like I think weekends are reflection time. So, in our culture, it is. You know,
I
we
know
make
that
those.
I was going into the weekend very, with a lot of energy, and then my dog hurt his foot, and it just like pretty much put a damper on all of our plans. We're planning on going to Yosemite and maybe
Mm.
Lake Tahoe. And then there was like tragedy that happened in Lake Tahoe as well yesterday.
Wait, that's where you were going,
We were
right?
going, but then we didn't. We had to just
Okay.
stay back
Because the
home.
first thing I got intuitively was like he avoided. There was something you avoided that would have been bad. Really,
Yeah.
really bad. The dog actually, what I actually got from Spirit was the dog took one for the team.
Yeah.
That dog
Yeah.
knew exactly what was going to happen. Like it was like it has to do that because dealing with the family, like there's like a trigger of what's important in the family, and it started with the dog, and so that was the rope to pull.
Yeah. I mean, that is what happened. So
Yeah,
we steered clear of that.
I see it all the time psychically too. You can see spiritually the conspiracies. I mean, the funny thing is that spirit cheats. Like, all right, bring the dog down, make it create a wound. It's like fuck. That's their choice. Like, but well, it doesn't see it the same way. But it's interesting. So yeah, things are changing. Yeah, I mean, inside of us. I mean, what we're focused on is how we feel. So over the weekend, we went into Cancer. You
Okay.
know, after a very climactic Jupiter. I mean, Gemini ending. So what that means is, last month we were working on our the I think state of awareness, which means this state of awareness known as our mind, basically. So our mind is what we were updating. And this year we were getting a whole operating system upgrade. It's like, so it's not only getting a new program for the future, but also getting a new operating system that allows for new features in the program. And that's what Gemini has been. Gemini has been, okay, we're gonna reprogram this shit. We wrote this back when, in DOS, and now life is so much different.
So many
And
people won't even remember that.
Well, you know what's interesting is it's happening in a parallel in technology. We're literally at a point now where the technology we invented in the 80s, the last time we had this,
Uh huh.
it now writes itself.
Right. Yeah.
It writes itself. It's starting to think for itself. We're actually backing out of it. We've created like a thing, a self-perpetuating thing that is like so. As humans, this is one of our first godlike gestures, taking God in our own hands, like literally, and building this because it can be God. Because if you write AI to make everyone happy all the time, it will do that intelligently and more intelligently to make you happy. It has to be literally a servant.
So,
Otherwise, it
yeah.
can just by accident, like leaving the vacuum on, like, oh shit, they went Australia, like something because someone wasn't thinking about the consequences this could do. We count on the AI to think about the consequences of it would do. We count on AI, we count on AI, right? Now, the only thing that's going to save us from that peril is your spiritual awareness because there's a spiritual network that's under all of that usurps everyone, bad guys, good guys, everyone on earth. There's an operating system of consciousness, like serious, the 11 steps are basically the operating system, the operating core code of all the code in the universe. It's all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's all, they're right, scientists are right, it is all the numbers, it is. Even spirits are good, we agree with you, says spirit. So anyways, this whole point is that we are changing. We're basically starting to now. Some of us are starting to get onto the. You've heard of the deep web. Well, this is like the high web. It's like or the dark web. It's like this is the high web. There's another consciousness internet that you can log into, and it works, and you'll see for yourself, and you'll see if it's true or not. What I'm telling you. Either you'll know. I mean, it's just like holy shit. Your eyes are gonna bug open as far as the information you can have at your fingertips from the universe right now. I can ask anything. My friend Krista Marie can literally call anyone in heaven, like literally connect, and some of the even dialogue, the accent, she's just a channel for. She's AT&T. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's where we're going. And so even this day of me saying this, like holy crap! So on the graduation of Gemini, here's what I conclude. By the way, I got a system upgrade during that process. That's also hard as a leader because I'm like, oh shit, this. I'll be like, we're gonna get an upgrade, and then I'm in the upgrade. I'm like, oh man, this sucks. Like whatever. So part of my life is like deal with that. Don't bring it to this. You know what I mean? Like, but it was an upgrade to upgrade to the point of like honestly for me, I'm reporting this everywhere. I i can i have i just can see into the future of things I know that I know, and now that I know them, I just assume somehow it'll work out. Like the universe figure it out. If the universe is telling me it's going to work out, it does. So why money resources, like when you step into that higher net, you know you end up knowing so much in one moment, you avoid 1,000 mistakes. That's how it says it. So that's the level. Now, where I've been blown out, like holy shit, has been the creative level because my little curiosity of what's next, just is pouring out. I can't keep up with all the good ideas that are just coming out. I literally looking into ways to record them faster because they're coming out so fast that I can't even analyze yet if they do a background check and it fits for me. You know what I mean? But still, the ideas and the creativity are so big. Like holy shit, I never thought of that. And Spirit's like, we know. And the thing, part of the thing about running greater data and consciousness is you have to thread it with emotion. And here's Cancer introduction. You have to thread it with emotion because technically, according to the steps of awareness or incarnation or these steps of, now we're saying materialization, the 11 steps of materialization, that's one thing it is. These 11 steps will make something materialize. You do these steps with the right energy and the right intention, and the universe like Xerox just sticks it out. Like I'm at a point now where it's like in 3 days, I can get something I need. Mostly an answer is one thing. So this is because I'm in touch with my feelings along with my thoughts. That's what 7 is. 7 is a 2, your feelings, and 5, your thoughts. So 7, I sense, is our psychic awareness. Our psychic awareness, according to the step system, is listen to your feelings and you're aware and you're psychic because they're in there. Everything's in that super trunk.
So you're saying that we just came out of Gemini, which is like upgrading the software. Did that happen like just recently? Like, is that like a weekly thing, or is it like
No,
a?
no. Oh, well, it's a gradual thing, really. And then
Okay,
we draw lines to say I should be here by now, and so we know it reaches a point. It's a point between two frequencies, so it's like two radio stations in the
got it.
old. It's like
And
you know
okay,
you go to
and
the next
then
signal.
So I'm in like massive feelings of like shedding identity, like cutting my hair, moving to Hawaii, like that's like right on the table. Um, is that common? Like,
No, okay, so what you're experiencing, so here's what's happening. First of all, we're in a major timeline perspective. I mean, I'm talking major, many timelines. So war starting to end now. Famine starting to end now. I'm telling you, like, uneducated starting to hear, starting to repair that. Unemployed, people are homeless starting to repair that. Like
alcoholism, like people are drinking less.
people, it doesn't happen by saying no to alcohol. It actually happens only by saying yes to who you are. And so the thing about alcohol and alcohol stuff is like they're constantly just saying no, 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 no. And it's like, okay, like as a
Yeah,
wizard coming in there, as an enchanter coming in there, I'm like, the universe doesn't respond to a lot of no's.
right.
And it doesn't matter that it's a good thing it's knowing. Like if it knows a good thing, it doesn't matter. It still turns out to actually create a knot. When you say something's not going to happen, you create this knot like a cord. You go, okay, this is all knotted up over here. They said well, the energy can flow, but then it's go through this process and algorithm where it decides this, and then it can flow again. So any knot is like forcing you a stop sign in your consciousness. You're saying, okay, we should need to stop here. We're on the highway to heaven. What the fuck? Why do we have to pause? Like what energy has to be flow freely. So there's a way in your language, there's a way in your life. That's what they mean with talk positively. It's that your language needs to always be programming the story up.
Creative.
Because anything you think goes into language. Anything you think goes into language.
Hmm.
So you are just constantly all day, I'm a loser, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that. So if like archaeologists came back to look at you like they thought they were a bunch of losers, like they're like these people were just depressed, man. They were just fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're not here anymore. Like the evidence of it that you don't realize. But there's a higher view. So, anyways, I don't know how deep you want to go with this, but the sun in Cancer means now that we're exploring the emotional side. So your thoughts are going by. The way you're constructed in consciousness is that your thoughts are up here and your feelings are way down here in the center of the earth. And so that's step 2, in the center of the earth. It's the center of the earth where the energy is coming from. But up here, the thoughts are like what's going on up here, up in the world. In fact, the mind is the bridge between the under and upper worlds. That's what the two halves are, upper. So between it has one part of itself that becomes two versions of itself. So we take one of you, a slice of you, and then we actually split you to look at you from two sides. That's what Gemini thinking is. Thinking is, okay, I'm going to take a part of my soul and you just be over here like a mirror, and you just you tell me what the fuck's going on. You learn it, you learn the patterns, you do the math. That's the brain. But the other part of that brain also is talking to heaven. That's the upper. We're actually intuitive, or the lighter net, the higher net. That's tuning into the higher net, and the higher net's like where we are. It's a we energy, the higher net, like, and that's what we're heading to. That's what 5D is. It's like this higher thinking where we know who we are, and we can sense who we are in the universe, and we can sense our brothers and sisters are just part of that same game that we're playing. And I think it's a game now. And then that is two things I just described to you is the arc of the next month, because the first month, which is Gemini, you got the new way of thinking. You may not realize it, but you gave yourself permission to think of things even that you said you'd never think about. And the ones you say you never think about is definitely going to be thought of. So that's if you got in cold storage. You're like, don't bring up that issue until I'm married. Like you like create little rules for ourselves. We don't bring stuff up. So part of life is that you planned in your game that some things would happen sometimes. Like you planned it for your avatars. You're like, okay, if this happens, like just skirt them this way, and you agree to certain like events that you'd be a part of. So people who are about a big, massive, plane crash, they really did all sign up for an exit. And literally, I think in the planning room of heaven, it's like, oh, we need an exit. How when a plane goes down? It's like, and it's all people, it's like, and people like this tragedy. Is it? I don't think so. That's where my mind's going. So for me, the next level was like, oh, geez, I'm kind of seeing reality completely different in the sense of, from the mind's perspective, it's a video game. We're in a video game.
Right.
Basically, the mind's in a video game. The spirit is in an experience game. The spirit's like locked in the past. You're like, holy shit, oh my God, you see that? Like the spirit's here to experience as a spirit what you create. That's reality. And we plug into our thoughts and feelings. We've gone down a deep rabbit hole. But that's the point. Y'all, you're about to go down a deep rabbit hole. And that's exciting and fun. We shouldn't look at it as scary. It's exciting, just like a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like it's exciting
So
because you're going to be safe.
you said we plug in with our thoughts and feelings. Is that like, are we controlling this? Like,
Yes.
okay,
Yes, that's the other. I mean, these are the ceiling blown that it's time to realize. Even for myself, like, I know this is true, and I never thought about making it life. And I never thought that me deciding to make it life is when I finally get my hands on the wheel. Because you're like, I'm going to just make it, see if it works.
you're right.
You
Experiment.
know, my brain was, when I was a kid, I was like, I think I can control those stoplights. And so I'd like try to control the stoplights. Swear to God, I was controlling those fuckers. And what I was
Nice.
doing is I was keeping for I'm waiting for the. I have to be a little dirty now and then just to make it a fun cocktail. But like, I would always start to dream of it, and we would just go down green lights like we were presidential. And I thought I was a kid. I was like, even as a kid, I'm like, man, I can just making this shit up. Even as a kid, I knew part of me knew that. That was the beginning of us realizing this bigger thing. And the importance of now is that the way you interact with reality is your mind to some degree. Your mind has that other twin that will talk to reality, and the inner twin will talk to your heart. And so that Gemini is usually between heart and reality. Your consciousness of Gemini or thinking is your exchange with other people in the virtual divine reality, which is Earth. Like we're a virtual divine reality. So energetically, the important part of this is that we have to now, with emotion, go into how we feel about everything. Because how you feel about everything is actually what the game is actually where the exchange is. It turns out that human beings are actually exchanging energy with feelings. Feelings are sort of a currency that we're, processing, creating. And this currency has been caught up on getting along with ourselves. So our emotions have been focused on survival and just making it work and coping, coping. Like we're basically children as a species emotionally. We're emotionally underdeveloped. Now, here's the thing. We're the only species that has emotion. And so we're actually pioneering it. We can't let our mind look at it as problems. It's like, no, we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to make this the best it can be. We're trying to like make this right amazing. And we want the bugs kind of thing. So now we're at this point where we're ready to go completely plugged into. Some people are going to just be very aware of how they're plugged into things. And some people are going to start to will consciousness and it's going to respond with a yes. Because of this development happening right now. That makes sense. So light workers are about to get their power, so to speak, if you want to keep in those Marvel terms. They're,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your answer to somebody who says that that's impossible? Because if we have this control mechanism of thoughts and feelings and we can sort of manipulate reality, then it would be a mess because we would all want like the kind of like we would all want the same thing or maybe want bad things. Like
Okay, so here's the trick, and this is where we're in the dark. Um, you actually can't make anything happen unless you want it. You know what I mean? So the reality is that, first of all, someone who says it can never happen, because the way this works, the game works, it will never happen.
right, they're correct.
For the people who say, I don't believe in ghosts, because of the way the system works, you will not see ghosts. It's like it's taken out of your movie. I'll take it out of the movie. You know, and we take that out, and a lot of the times our judgment is just to take it out. It's not like bad or good. It's like because I want it. I'm the creator, right? So the point is, and this is the point we have to get home today. I don't know, we're out time. Oh, we're doing good actually. Space Force time vortexes. It feels like forever, but it's actually short. This is a moment. We go back to the beginning with Cancer, where you must realize that your feelings are your joysticks. Your feelings are how everything is reading you. The birds are reading you. The trees are reading with your feelings. Everything is communicating with feelings. That's how we're all communicating. And we're right now really hyper about it and very sensitive about it because we're not good at just feeling ourselves. We've damaged that. And so when we go out to each other to talk, we're all vibrating icky and we're putting out icky vibes. And we didn't even know we're putting out icky vibes because we didn't know that what we felt was being broadcast. But what you feel is being broadcast around you in a certain radius. And then when I go on this camera, I can broadcast it even further. And what you're reading mostly in me is my feeling. I mean, he's feeling there, and but he was feeling this way at this time. Well, then you felt that way when you said that word. That's really how we're getting the data. We are always feeling each other, and that's the part of us goes, I don't know. That's because you can see the narrative at the top is matching the feeling inside, and that not match is God saying, nope. Like the fact they don't match. The basic Aquarius is the two waves. It's time for everything to wave on the same wavelength. It's like, well, what about me? So go find your wavelengths. Like there's people on your wavelength. So that realization comes down to the fact that people have to bring feelings into the moment because you have to feel everything in every moment. You have to feel everything in every moment. If you don't feel everything in every moment, you're not fully enchanter, which is the new word for wizard. You're not an enchanter. The reason why you have to enchant, not whiz, is because whizzing is all in the mind only. But it turns out there's this emotional part, which is the enchanter. You have to enchant. And that means you have to feel it into existence. And you feel into existence because you realize that your feelings are connected to existence. They're all connected. So if you go through your feelings, you can feel the world, you can feel where to go, you can feel not to go to the store, you can feel not to go on that trip. So a dog doesn't have to take a leg. So it changes everything. And today is when you start either plugging into that or not. And what I mean by that is if you try to plug in this proposal, in fact, this is what I'll say. Y'all try for this 1 year, like the year of Jupiter in Cancer. While Jupiter's in Cancer, feel everything too. Feel everything too. So it's like, what do you think about that? Oh, I think she's a crazy moron. What do you feel? I feel she's getting divorced. Where'd that come from? Came from the higher grid. Came from that information is all accessible. Akashic records, everything. I've been witnessing in my own psychic ability, which I keep quiet about, is that I can just request and receive. I don't have time to request.
How do you translate that? So feelings, because are feelings coming in actual like words, or like if somebody's listening to this and like, okay, so I feel it, what are they looking for? Like, what are they waiting for? So they know it's a
I,
feeling instead of a thought.
okay, that's a very good point. So the way the steps train and show the steps of the universe, basically how these first step is that, you open up. And I downloaded some information. What was your original question? I can't remember taking you.
What I just asked,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like how do you digest or translate what a feeling is trying to speak to you? Is
Okay,
it
thank you.
actually like words coming in as a feeling? Like what is a feeling? Like how do you make feeling into a sentence?
Okay. So here's how it feels like. Okay. When you're about to sneeze, but you're not ready to sneeze, and you're like, huh? And just like let that feeling
Okay.
of the sneeze come out. Sneezes come out as a feeling. They start as a feeling. Remember, it's like, we all get this like, oh no, like we have to go to the bathroom, like, oh no, like it's a feelings come on for everything already and signal us like all those things, but we're only paying attention to like going potty and avoid that train. The resolution there is way bigger than that. Like when you are very comfortable in your feelings, you feel everything. And you feel like the weight of all words going by, they have a weight. And that weight is how much needs to be looked at. How much is not congruent with your wave? How much is out of sync with your wave? That's out of sync with your wave. That's out of sync with your waves. That's out of sync with your waves. It's almost like consciousness marks, like that's out of sync. We're like, ooh, something's mystery. I don't know. He looks like a bastard. Like our mind goes to like only what it's seen, bastard, mystery. It's not up on this whole thing. So it's choosing super words. And the truth is, like, once we plug into this, the way you do it is you okay, let's put it this way. Thinking is step 5. Step 5 is thinking. 5 is halfway between 0 and 11, basically. And in 0, 11, 0, 11 is a 12 state conscious. So five's in the middle. The mind has a thought. Okay, now the heart is down here. The heart's the chooser. Heart's the chooser. Heart is the chooser. Heart is the creator. Heart is you. What you love is who you are. Your heart's the chooser. Your heart's doing all the choice. That means all the parts of you bow to the heart. Bow. Because it's the kingdom of God or the kingdom of God. The rest of you bows because the rest of you knows you created me. So fuck, I'm not gonna, you're my creator. I'm not gonna tell you how to do the model. Like, so there's this natural order of consciousness where it's like, if something else created you, it reports to you. Something else you created, something else you created reports to you. Right. And so as a result, our thoughts, our feelings, our creativity, our emotions, our sex drive, all those parts of us, the rest of us, other than love, was all created by the heart. It's all kept open by the heart. These are things the heart cares about. And the heart cares about is being fed energy from God. It's being enlightened. It's on the grid. So the more we connect to our heart from step 5, so the mind needs to go down to the heart. When the mind is making choices, it's like looking around the video game going, okay, well, I see root beer stands, and, like that's the mind's level. It's just seeing what's in reality. It's a periscope. And it's reporting down into the heart. Now, what's happened is minds have stopped reporting to the heart. And what they've done is they're reporting to public, social media. Like they're reporting to the world, they're reporting to the creation they're creating in order to figure out what to do next. And the mind needs to go, what's my heart want? What's my heart want? And what's in between the heart and the mind is the feelings, feelings and beliefs, beliefs, and then feelings, and then the heart. These are the layers of conscience. So basically what happens is the mind hijacks it up here, never asks the heart what it wants. And people say lost, they try things that make sense based on only looking at the game for the game. And so they're lost in there not knowing that the heart is how you make all choices. And that will lead you as a secret map out of your game is your heart. So the point, again, this is important today because we now begin to start to get into our feelings or not in Cancer. We're at a Grandmaster Step 2 Cancer today. That means that we are redefining what it feels like to be us. And we're also refining at the same time what it's like to feel. So the level of feeling is being upgraded, and the level of what's feel, and therefore, if the level of feeling is being upgraded, like suddenly you can hear another 100 miles. Imagine you can hear another 100 miles. Okay, you can hear 100 miles away. Oh fuck! Like Jesus, what am I picking up on? You know what I mean? Like suddenly, it screws up your consciousness. Your consciousness has to go whoa, 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 and that empty space that's suddenly available real estate. Everything just starts to like unfold into that, to that next thing that we've created from the choice we made today. So we're expanding naturally. This is what we do. But we're at a point now where this is where people have a quantum leap in what life is, what conscious is, what the soul is. All these things we said, we're a soul, we're this, we're that. This is where we know what it is. The whole earth will know what it is. We will know what a soul is, we'll know all about it, and we'll all agree that's the way it is. Now that is how we were taken apart. We were taken apart because this church is like, no, that's not the way it is. That's the way it is. Come to my church. Oh, that's not the way it is. That's the way it is. Oh, let me come to my church. And so the people who were telling us to go to church were not telling us to log into God. They were saying, follow me, I know.
Right.
You don't even know that. So that's how we got hijacked on these paths. So the point is, this is a point in humanity where we're all starting to realize, oh, we made choices a long time ago. We didn't know, da, da, da. And this is the awareness of, I think, the global community. The global community is going to go through a huge temper tantrum because it has to upgrade. Nobody wants to upgrade because they're happy with having control of this level. And it's like, no, don't tell me else. I don't buy that. I'm just going to stick with my retirement and my kids and then my generations after me. And I'm just going to win this game. I'm going to come down this game. I'm never going to fucking play by the rules. I'm just going to fucking win this thing. Like there are souls like that who play that. But I don't play by the rules. I'm just going to do it my way. And that convinces people to make a choice. And that choice forces you to grow, which is all part of the game. You're forced to grow.
Yeah.
Because
That's maybe why I got a lot of comments on here talking about, and even myself included, that there's like icky feeling this last weekend.
yes. Yes. So look, first of all, good for you for talking about what it felt like. I mean, you say it felt, you pay attention to how it felt like. You're already reading the vibes. You're already reading the game. If that's happening, because you're like, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. That information didn't come from a search. That's the beginning of you starting to trust your feelings. And that's what the new era is. I mean, I just realized that now in the moment, which is like part of in the new, I think it's new world, you constantly learn instantly. You're constantly learning instantly what you took like 6 months to learn. And you adjust your whole plan right there. Well, okay, well, that's going to change everything. And that's part of being a player in the game. To be a player in the game is to be aware of everything and to be able to handle all that data. And the way you handle all that data is you step back into your feelings, and your feelings back here or underneath, because feeling at step 2, thoughts are at 5. So our feelings are underneath us. Like, wait a second, what are we sitting on anyways? What is this, a planet? It's like, you're sitting on your emotions. You're sitting on your emotions. Emotions are this flow that is like keeping the core you connected to the outer you. And all the outer you has got to feel to receive the signal. And then once they've received the signal, you have access to everything, all feelings, everything, everywhere. You have access to anything. You want to feel what it's like to be at the scene of this weird crime? You just have to tune into like that place, step 0. Step 1, my heart wants to go there. Okay, it's paid for by God. Step 2, we've arrived. It feels that way. And that is you literally transporting to different timelines, really, in the moment. Like, that's what's happening. That's 0, 1, 2. construction of our core code, right, so to speak. The point is that we have to get into our feelings. I'm going to bring it back to like caveman, from there. You just heard the big, like, what is out there. The only way in is to get into your feelings. And, this is what I'm teaching right now in the daily pep talks, by the way, guys. Like, these kind of lectures is what you get at Serious Joy all the time. We're telling you the deep part of it. We have more time to do it. We can do it the way we want to, and so I'll just put in an ad for myself at seriousjoy.com, because what we're doing is guiding people into this new game. That's why it's Serious Joy. The universe with me is like, that's why we call it joy. I was like, because ultimately that's why, look, me goosebumps. Ultimately, it's that we are, I'll say it again, right now you're in a meditation in heaven. And you are meditating in this massive God consciousness. In this meditation of God consciousness, we're playing this game. It's a dream. What we're calling reality now is because we beam down in here. Look. Oh my God, this is cool. I like being here. Like, our higher self is like looking in a game. That's what this is. So, and then I go, well, that's crazy. Take a look. Try it. Try the, try on the belief structure and take it off. If you don't like that, then fine. Go back to your other hat. Go back to your other belief structure. That's fine. The whole point of the game is you get to pick one. I think after being an old soul, you're like, let me be the burglar and like, I think we start picking bad shit because it's more fun. Because we're already bored with the game once we start to master it up there. Now we get to play the cool roles.
Right.
And so imagine if you could just step back today and go, everything I'm seeing, I somehow coordinated with my higher self to make happen. This is not me really stuck on this. I'm not actually ever going to die. Turns out I'm up here looking at me. This is impossible. This is a game. I've been projected into this thing. And I'm in this little thing because I'm trying to learn about who I am. Because up there, I can look down and go, it's interesting that look how that turned out. Like, you have that heavenly view of yourself. I mean, the view of heaven, we're like, heaven, you're lucky to get there. It's where you are now. You are in heaven now. Now you are in heaven, and you're dreaming this into this avatar reality. That's my big quantum realization, actually. And I heard that quote from someone. I didn't know where I got it from. I'll have to think about it. But when I was like, I'm currently in a dream about this reality, and it's like, whoa, holy shit, now I get it. Like, and that's kind of like all the movies you see where the kids discover this and they discover that, and the kids discover that this has been lied to them. They've been lied to about this. They've been lied to about that. These stories we tell, these are campfire stories, movies, and TV. This is where we're like actually playing out how to play the game. Like, we're working on it in this level. We're planning it, but this level we're planning it too. And I think this level is our higher self. So from the Earth perspective, our higher self is doing all the controlling. We've been praying to our higher self when we pray. That's our God. Mm-hmm. Our God is ourself up there. And it's like, hey, you sent us in there, help. Help me, help. And our higher self, I think, is the one connected up there. And it's like, oh no, my avatar is going off the road. Or I don't think it's that at all. I think they're actually programming consciousness growth. So up there, you're like, okay, I want to go from feeling this to feeling this. And then feeling this to feeling this. So it's like they're developer character developing, really is what you're doing. And if you want to look at it from the video game, you're developing your character out. And we're still in the stage where we're developing our character out. So from that look at things, we're just now starting to realize up there how to do that. Right? So up there, which is in the same moment that now, up there, we're like, we're just now starting to figure out how to do that, how to really get the characters to go places. And remind you, these characters are expressions of them. So us up there is actually learning about us through this video game. We're learning about ourselves through this video game. We're sending down a piece of ourselves into the video game to figure out things about ourselves we can't see from here. So it's like in the video game, figure stuff out. In AI, look at how you figure stuff out. You're like, oh, holy shit, okay, well. Right? We do the same thing with incarnation. Like, okay, put in this in the divine intelligence, not AI, it's divine intelligence, not artificial. In divine intelligence, we send ourselves in there, and the program runs along divine coding, and that divine coding is that all that happens according to these wishes, not what you're wishing here. So all this talk about connecting to our higher self, through religion, all this stuff. First of all, religion, all this stuff, most of those things are just like AOLs. They're just trying to get you online and get them in between you and them, you and online. So if they can control the gate to online, then they can tax you in all sorts of ways. So these are like, these are people who are this consciousness is trying to hijack a little piece of consciousness to kind of live off of, right? By stopping it. You stop consciousness flow, Somehow you dam up the river. Well, somehow it's going to rise. You're going to get a shipping company. You're like, things happen when you stop things, right? But that's not how you actually enchant in the game. In the game, you must enchant, not stop the game. So the people try to stop the game to gain, and there are people who enchant, the ones who are playing. Everyone's mostly playing.
Can you elaborate on that word enchantment? What exactly do you mean by that?
Enchantment is that, first of all, you have to get there to the feeling. I think that a lot of people who are spiritual, truly spiritual, you go, that guy is spiritual. I can feel it. Your emotions, read his emotions. Yeah, he's spiritual. Well, he's or her has come into an enchantment where that person is now seeing a graceful joystick, and the avatar realizes that it doesn't have to worry at all. It just has to learn how to get used to this, which is that your emotions and how you feel is driving the story. It's driving your conversations with people. It's driving what their impressions are of you. Everyone is emotionally reading everyone all the time. And so the more you get to master, oh, that feeling is this, and that feeling is that. Oh, that feeling is this. Every feeling has a memory and a category to it. So when that feeling comes back, yes, it is related to every time you had that feeling. It is related to the same feeling coming up through time, so coming up through different spaces of time. This is like, it keeps happening to me. It's like the thing that causes the emotion keeps happening to you. So you end up feeling that way, feeling that way, feeling that way, feeling that way, not knowing that, well, stop it. Like, unplug that. What, it's you. So we're learning how to emotionally recognize, like, how to control the matrix, if you will, but it's not the matrix, it's the enchantment, I'd say. We're learning how to control it by getting close to our own feelings and starting to feel that this is to let ourselves respond to it emotionally, or as a signal trying to read it instead of something you're trying to figure out. And that's where we're caught in the mind, Gemini. And so Jupiter and Gemini just goes, okay, that code's gone now. Like, in other words, we're not supporting, this we'll figure it out thing, because we're all going to agree that it actually works like this. And so because the collective now, the movie's moving to this scene. In this scene, they know it exists, and now they're starting to use it. So the time that's ending, the bad times are when we said no. We said no because someone was saying no to us, though, by the way. Everyone starts saying no, and you're like, well, fuck you, no to you. Man, no
Yeah,
to you, buddy. And no you, and no you. Like, if we started, that's the dark ages. We just started shutting out God, shutting out the connection, shutting out the ideas that we actually are the gamers, shutting out this. And that was closing down the belief structures. Don't let those kids know they're in a video game. And that's what it is. Don't let them know they're in a video game. Don't let them know. Those are secrets. Don't let them know. This is all fun theme park, and then you come down here and we hijack you.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I said my avatar, no, he's fucking extreme this or extreme that. Interesting, big pictures.
Yeah.
So, I want to bring it to today so that people have what has to happen inside themselves. I love talking like that, and that world for me is opening up, including my ability to see it and map it and create in it. Like, you'll see. You'll all see. It's really cool. It's really cool. But I also, at the same time, I'm still, the old part of me is like, well, I don't know. I keep catching where I'm saying not. Like, oh, and this part of me says not, and this part of me says not, and this part of me, and this part of me. And so it's like all those parts of you that were like freaked out, who like suddenly got into a position, like, no, 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 no. It's like, that's what not is. You're like, no, 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 this can't happen. And so if you have part of you that's like saying no, well, then another part of you, like, your digestion rocks forever. It's like, fuck. It's like the other parts of you being disturbed by this. No. And so that's what's creating, I think, sickness. Is we're saying no to stuff in places. And we're like, no, 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 absolutely not. It's like, well, you're in a game, buddy. No, you're in a game. You're in a game, dude. I'm telling you. We took some acid. We did this thing. It's like, we're in this game. Like, you have to play now. No, fuck you. You're trying to get me. It's like their game sense, it just like denies anything above the no, because it's a no. So it's going to deny. Deny, 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 deny. Like, that's the signal going out from it, basically, to stop the river from flowing. So
Yeah.
anytime you say no or not, you have to ask yourself, why are there, if we can change our thinking to be, it will be this and this, and if we actually erase not in our language, which is what came from Jupiter and Gemini, what if there were the word not? What if we said, we would say not to it? Because to say not to it is to bind myself to it. If I'm saying you're not this, oh, fuck, now I have to hold this. You're not this, you're not this. Says who? Says me. Says me. Like, all the nots are like, hey, it's literally like, hey, so you gonna be nice here, because I am the, here in organized crime. Say not to this. Right? So when you say not, you break flow. for the person, you need to know that when you feel bad about something, and that's what's going to happen for the next few days, you're going to feel all your feelings big time. And we have a new moon coming at a very consciously powerful step 4. A new moon on step 4 Cancer means we're going to realize, this happens this week, we're going to realize that we've been feeling this way, but I belong feeling that way. I've been feeling like this, I've been feeling like the criminal, I've been feeling like all these things in this character. This fucking character sucks. I'm going to reboot the avatar. You know, it's like, fuck it. I don't like these feelings. This sucks. This sucks. This game sucks. And that's, so a lot of people would be like, this sucks. Like step 4, new moon is like, this sucks. I don't, anywhere but here. That's how it feels in the game. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but fucking here. And so it's like, okay, well, we have 3 choices. There's always 4 choices in quantum. But when you're in one of them already, that's a choice to stay where you are. And then there's 3 new choices. 3 is magic. 3 is a magic number. Out of those 3. That's just how the game is coded.
Okay.
Right?
Week.
Taking down all these other things. So at the end of the day, yes, no, how you feel in the morning. I mean, so how you feel about yourself is the first thing you have to focus on. You have to get that perfect. And you have to understand what you need to feel from yourself to make you feel good about yourself. What does it take for me to feel good about myself? What does it take for me to feel good about myself? To feel good about myself. Not think, I don't give a fuck, don't care about the law or anything. It's like, how do I feel about myself, though? Honestly, this is between me and me. I won't tell anyone. How do I feel about myself? Right? How you feel about yourself is the first feeling of every feeling you have. Every feeling you put on the world first starts with how you feel about yourself. I feel about yourself, and then it goes out to the world. So it's a constant reading. You're constantly telling the world exactly where you are all the time. That's the avatars updating the avatars through feelings. So if you say, I feel like a shithead, and then I feel like we should buy some pizza tonight. You're like, what? Wait a second. Said you're a shithead, and now you want to buy pizza? I don't know if a shithead should buy pizza. Right? So the point is that we have to listen to how we feel about ourselves, because that is the kernel. That is what you're creating on this new moon. You're creating a new seed of how you feel about yourself. And that how you feel about yourself. And here's the thing, you don't have to always feel it. Just because you're not feeling it doesn't mean that's not how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself is how you always feel in the end. You might have little feelings around, but always feel in the end about yourself. Truly feel. In most cases, people feel good about themselves. I asked them, like, how do you feel about yourself? If you had an exit survey, you feel good about yourself. You feel good to be you. You want to be you. You just can't make the fucking game create the feelings you want. God damn it, this game is hard. Because
Right.
I want to feel this way, but fucking hey, that's right. You didn't realize what feelings would be like. So feelings are amazing. That's the best part of this game. This game invents feelings. So now the avatar has feelings. Well, that's interesting. Now the avatar is emotionally sensitive to everyone. That's Earth. Earth is feeling. So the moon, ultimately, and how you connect to yourself is what you're going to decide. And the new moon is where it goes. The new moon says, well, it may not belong where you think it is. So it's a moment in the game where it's like, you know what, turns out you may be wrong about what village you were in. You may be wrong about what life you were in. Check in here at this moment in cosmic time. And if you are off track, you'll be shown the way to go. And that's step 4. That's the quantum step. Whenever it adds to a 4, we've come to an intersection where we can go 3 ways. We can be on the way we are or 3 other ways. And that's the intersection of quantum, 4. So quantum reality is like thinking in those terms. In a moment, there are 4 dimensions, 4 games, 4 game levels you can choose in a quantum day. So the new moon is a quantum choice changer. Your whole life could go, nope, Christians are right. You're going to die for Jesus. It's like, okay, that was your choice. That's where you feel you belong. Now, how do you choose? I just feel I belong there. I don't know. I feel I like it more. There's one you secretly like more. You secretly like it more. It's secret because you don't even want to tell yourself most of the time. And your heart's, this is what your heart is waiting for the rest of the avatar. Don't give that fucking thing the secret until it figures this out. So I think there's a higher self going, figure this out before we give them that secret. So this game of not knowing and knowing, there's a good reason why you don't know right now. So let's just relax. We know our higher self will program it, and we'll be told.
When is this happening? Like,
This what we're plugging into right now. What I describe that is consciousness probably in 2 years. In 2 years, there's going to be a big part of the consciousness that just knows they're in a video game. They've like figured it out. I don't know if they be this literal about it or talk about how it works. I like making video games, so I'm fascinated about how it works.
Right.
So people will operate on a first a subconscious level, like subconsciously, if like, oh no, this could happen. And you're just like, no. And when you say no, it's because you're feeling into the game. You're trusting what you're feeling. I'm seeing this in people already. I'm seeing people. I used to have to tell people. I'm telling them no. Your feelings have all the answers. But a lot of people are like not even aware of it. They're just going, yeah, I just didn't feel this right. I'm like, where'd you get that wisdom to go? Your feelings said no. They just now went to it. So I think for them, it's an unlock. It's like it's already unlocked that understanding, and they know already, or it just unlocked right there. Now they know. I've had people tell me, I just know, and stand that knowing. I know. Where's the proof? I just know. Like that trust that you know because you feel the whole gamut. And I think right now what you do is you just felt like it'd be okay. Now you're about to realize, oh, it's much more than that. It's that you made a choice for where to go. When you said, you know, you first said, I already know where it's going to go. So you take yourself out of the game of any threat. I already know where it's going to go. I just haven't downloaded what? Right? Different perspective of playing that moment. So this is us getting the game. And the way you get into it is you get into your own feelings. So between now and the new moon, which is in 3 days, 2 days, 2 days, you will, even if you don't know this, you'll go through this, be forced to. It will be a little crash inside, emotional crash. Well, emotional crash, like where you're feeling, you find yourself crying about something. And it's like, it's probably something that like means nothing in life. It's like, oh, what's wrong? You know, like first it's like, the newspaper's wet, the newspaper's wet. It's like, something like that. I mean, in scale. And that moment is the new moon starting, which may start as soon as tomorrow, where something emotionally is just going to like not work anymore. And it's going to be something in the game's not working anymore. His career, his this, is that something's not working anymore somewhere in your life, somewhere in the game, it's not working anymore. And for some reason, it just emotionally hurts and makes you crash. You can't hold your good feelings about it anymore. You can't feel good about it anymore. If you can't feel good about it, it has to go because we have to feel good about everything. How do you feel good about the job? Feel good about that dog you got? Feel good about that Mustang you bought? You feel good about it? It's like, well, yeah, the mind will be like, well, we paid a local price. We have this. Shut up. You feel good about it because if you feel good about it, it means all the feelings, all your energy's going, yes, this way in the game. Feel good about it way. And the game starts to go, okay, the games always feel good about. So we've been saying sometimes the feel good's here, and they're like, no, it must be this. This will make me feel good. And the feeling good about it is like something your mind didn't offer. So you didn't find it, right? Or you got it and you said a lot of knots. So it did feel good, but you knotted it all up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So we're learning how to plug into ourselves to know how we feel about everything.
mhm.
And once you know how you feel about you and you'll know how you feel about everything. And that's you plugging into this big picture. So today and tomorrow you dive into today we're in the feelings, now we're in the flow, by the way. Tomorrow's, I can't believe forgot this. Tomorrow we go, okay, well, if I feel this way, I feel this way about myself. I feel that I'm the next answer for this. I feel I'm the solution. I feel I'm the only one that can do it. I feel I'm the one that has all the secrets. I feel I have a secret mission that no one understands. I feel these things. Or I feel these things. And they're probably remarkable and incredible, whatever you're feeling, because you would have been there. You would have been there if you weren't nodding it, so once you feel that, it's like, okay, I do feel that. I do feel I'm going to be a movie star. I do feel it. I'm using these examples because that's what they are in the consciousness for, is examples. When you know, if you feel and idolize like a celebrity, you feel idolized like, oh, I want to feel this way, I want to feel this. That then leads to what you believe. Well, then you believe you're a star. I believe I'm a star. I'm a celebrity. I'm a star. Okay, this is you creating yourself in the game. Well, if I'm a star, these are the steps 0 and 2. Well, if I'm a star, step 3, I believe I'm a star. Well, then I belong. Choosing that way next intersection. If I'm a star, it's that way. Stars this way. And so it all comes from that feeling that your heart feels. Step 1, your heart feels. Your heart feels. That's where I belong. That feeling. And so feelings are what you're belonging with. That's how you code it. And then everything is built from, in reality, 2 to 3. Well, if you feel it, then you believe this, and you belong there, and that way you should think this way. That is the plugging into our conscious awareness that gives us control. And so bringing it all back down to micro, for you, you have to feel yourself all day. So what I challenge you to do is feel yourself all day today. Feel yourself all day. Okay, I'm at the market. How does it feel? It feels okay. And how do you feel about these mushrooms? How do they feel? How does that cashier feel? How does this thing feel? How's that thing feel? That's you scanning. You're scanning the matrix. Huh. The feelings can bring a lookup of information, of history and everything else. And that's what meditation is. That's what psychic awareness is. Psychic awareness is like, okay, but I'm this feeling. I'm seeing the light. I'm seeing something over here. Because you're going through a feeling. And that's why it's dark. But then you come out on the other side and it starts to materialize. Like materializes like right there as something real in your life. And it's fun because when it materializes, you didn't expect just that. Because it
Right.
materializes in a way that's like
Yeah.
perfect and crazy for all different reasons.
More
Because
perfect.
yeah, and that more perfect is the character just advanced. It's like it got more perfect.
Right.
Everything got more according to what I want to make in this game, this experience I want to create. Yeah, we're getting deep today. So tomorrow the sun conjuncts Jupiter, which is honestly why we're having this deep talk today. Realize Jupiter is saying right now, get deeper. That's Jupiter always does. Get deeper. Feel like I know it all. This game never ends. You can't know it all. Get
Right.
deeper, kid, or get off the ride. So Jupiter just gives really Jupiter's like a theme park. You should have some sort of euphoric moment in the next 3 days. Euphoric moment. That euphoric moment is like, did you know it could be like this? And once you consider it, you're like, shit, fuck. No, I can't get that out of my mind. Fuck. It's like a virus that just playing with, because it's like a paradise kind of idea.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like when you're in the game, you're like, no, these are all the paradise ideas there are never ones that are more paradise. And then you're just like, what about this? It's like it makes you realize the game is bigger, you have more control, you have more of this, you have more of that, there's more features. It's just like you just keep upgrading the experience, and that's what Ascension is. Ascension is for every year for the next like 15, upgrade, 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 upgrade. And it's like reality 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, like every year away is like literally the new reality version while Pluto's in Aquarius.
Yeah, I feel
It
all of this. Like everything that you're saying is like I'm currently going
resonates.
through it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the awakening is, oh shit, I'm in a game. That is really the awakening, technically, in a simple analytical way. Oh, before version 2, they didn't know they're in a game. We just let them scatter and make crazy for 1,000 years. It's crazy. It was fun to see them though,
It was
right?
fun
Like
too. Yeah.
when you look at that part of me, like, huh, that's funny. Like that's really funny. But that perspective, now you may say it's bullshit. I say, okay, maybe it is complete bullshit. Think of it as a way of pretending in an art exercise at school. We're going to pretend this. We're just going to pretend this for a day and see how it feels.
Hmm.
Just pretend it for a day. Pretend it for a day. You can always get back in the way you're thinking. Inside you that it means you're going to have to face all your feelings. And most people are afraid to play the video game when the feelings come because that's what they don't understand and haven't.
I feel like also paying attention to the steps and the stars and the planets is like the syllabus. And if you're just refusing to go along with today's lesson or this week's lesson or this cycle's lesson, then you're basically like way off track. And I feel like we should all be connected to what's going on energetically so that we understand what the lesson of the day is and we can go through it and get the most out of it.
There are people who are saying there's no game. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist. There's no game, which is itself a game and a conspiracy. Conspiracy theorists are out creating conspiracies about conspiracy theories. Do they
Mhm.
know that? What I mean? Like you're actually creating, the point is we all are. And what that is you getting lost in the game. And what you're describing is people realizing that the truth is them inside of them because they're in this moment. And so to have your avatar argue with another avatar about how the game works. Like if you're up there to play the game and you're gonna spend time in the
Yeah,
game defending the game
it's
when we all fucking
pointless.
know we're in a game, you know what I mean? Like It's just that's just they're just driving their character off in a weird space. This is the quantum leap I had. I had the quantum leap in the last 5 days. Like it's a fucking video game. But like it's simulation. No, it's a video game. Simulation. No, you're talking about the simulation itself. You know, but you're having fun right now playing a game.
Let's make sure we get through the day by day for the week.
Let's do it. It's the final wrap up. So today we're stepping in step 2, and I'm giving you guys some deep philosophy. Okay. And again, I'm just going to give this one sponsored Serious Joy. This is how we talk at Serious Joy. How I talk is because I'm trying to give people how it all works. And I was only giving people and before because I didn't even understand how it all worked. So I was able to give the full resolution myself. But Serious Joy, that's what you get. You get this full resolution food. We're not going to go down this pipe. So those like this episode sucked on Monday. All you just talk about the stupid game. Don't worry, we're not going to do it very often. Like I won't do it often. But the reason why today is important is because I'm telling you right before you get on the ride. I'm not telling you way ahead of time. You're about to get on the ride. So you can pretend it's your bowels and the chicken wings, or you can realize something big here is going on. And that going on is that, okay, step 0, step 1, you've already decided over the weekend, I need to feel safe. I want to enjoy the ride. So we come in today, it's like, I want to enjoy the ride. I just want to fucking enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. So your heart comes into this, I enjoy it. So today you're feeling, yes, I feel I want to enjoy the ride. I feel I want to enjoy the ride. I'm actually maybe influencing you here because I'm not giving you other choices you can have. You can also, the ride can suck. You can be, there's all sorts of bad things that happen on the ride if you want so, or you can just actually enjoy the ride, which is a new path. And so I'm going to enjoy the ride. So, okay, if I enjoy the ride, then tomorrow, if I'm enjoying the ride, well, I believe I should do this. So this next thing, I believe I should do this if I'm enjoying the ride. And I told you the game's always going to be enjoy the ride. Well, then if I'm enjoying the ride, fuck, why would I choose that? That's stupid. Come over here. And that's how I believe. Okay. So when our heart says we believe in this, Jupiter's at the exact same step in the sign. It's a Jupiter Sun conjunction. So when it's a Jupiter Sun conjunction and you go, I believe this, then Jupiter's like, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. It like just creates the story, whoop, and collective conscious for you. And so it is. It's kind of what happens. And so the Sun conjunct Jupiter is always that. It said, and so it is, update the program. Update the program. We're down here stuck in this motherfucker. And so we decide, tell them, get us out of here, or whatever. And so this moment I described to you, which is like, okay, my heart wants to feel good all the time. Okay, give us choices. Okay, feeling these choices. Okay, if you want to feel, always feel good all the time, then you must believe this. Yes. Well, then therefore, you belong over here. And that's why people are moving. People are moving because that's happening. Just give the architecture of your
It
pre-discussion.
literally is like a feeling of I would feel much better over here.
Correct. That's it. That is it. If you know nothing else, you can say like in like that's the signal. It's like just follow where you feel you'll feel better in the game. Just follow the feeling of feeling better. The yellow brick road. Just follow that feeling of feeling better. Just follow the feeling of feeling better. Just follow the feeling of feeling better. Following the feeling of feeling better is the beginning signal of God. Because following the feeling of feeling better is now like, well, this feels better, and that feels better. The heart just starts to open up, and that feels better. And so when you realize all you do is follow what feels better, then you can actually just feel your way through the game. And that's what this is about. So Jupiter tomorrow, which goes, and so it is. And then the new moon is step 4. Boom! The new moon just hit. It's like a step 4 new moon in Cancer. Boom, boom. You heard it. All feelings update now in the game according to that moment at the new moon. The moon's like, boom, update the code. Everything's like, update the code. When the sun conjunct super, update all code everywhere for never. Till we say not. Until we not support it. It's not that we say not, it's that we go, over here. Just completely ghosted. And that's how you get rid of parts of yourself. You ghost it. You want to delete the code? Fuck you. I'm not even talking. Just I'm talking. Give you no of my energy as an avatar. No,
Right.
no. Don't talk to me. You just completely, ignore, and it's gone. Delete. Anytime you want to delete something, ignore it. Now, science, never ignore things. They're talking about the science. They're saying in the video game, don't ignore things. Well, actually, if you know the game sucks, you're gonna upgrade. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking ignore it. Come on. So that's how we've been hijacked. So on that new moon 4, okay, that's it. Where you feel you belong on that day, it will be. What you feel you belong on that day will be. It will. Whether your mind agrees or not, it will. You chose that, I'm telling you. That's what I study. I'm realizing like, oh, I study nodal points. I study nodal points in the game. I don't study the planets. I don't study astrology. I'm studying how the game works and how it feels, how it operates, what the rules are. And I realized I'm a fucking game show host. I knew it. I had this thing I kept saying to my staff, I want a game show. I think I'm supposed to be a game show host. Seriously, we need a game show. I love that guy. Like this is part of me in the game realizing what I am,
Yeah,
Yes,
this is
super
all.
funny. Yeah. So you'll see sides of your game, stuff like that. Once you belong for, okay, then you'll start to think differently. Because the core of a thought is protect, love, feel, and believe you belong there. So every thought should be what you want, what you protect, what you love, what you feel like, what you believe in, what you know you belong doing. And so if you know you belong doing, that is the architecture of a good thought. 0 through 4. That's the architecture of a good thought. It literally maps out from the heart how it turns in all these things. And then you come to the mind. Problem with the mind, people like, they get that thought, they're like, stupid thought. The mind's like, stupid thought. Not passing it on to Congress. It's not going to be law in this country. Stupid. And so we let the purpose that not us to deny something sent from the fucking source code. What? What's the source code? You live on this code. Why are you going against the source? You have thoughts you're going against the source. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Yes, wasting your time. Like on a smartphone. Wasting your time. Don't figure out the actual. What's the game masters? Nah, you're never gonna know this. The choice. Never gonna know. Here, how about this? This dancing, kitty cat thing. You need to spend time playing it right now on Facebook. Like, there's weird stuff like that. It feeds off our consciousness.
Yeah.
There is. So 5 is, I think, and this time, this is huge. This is why you're coming into the game, because you think based on what you feel. You think based on what you feel now. You don't think based on what you see in the game. That is only the result of what you've created and programmed so far. It's not who you are. It's not where you want to go. It's as good as you got in the game so far. It's just as good as you got in the game. So it's fine. Let's look at all the times you've been good at the game. Okay, you can. I'd like to know why and what happened, but I want to get back into playing. So back into playing is no time spending analyzing crap like that. Time in the game is feeling everything all the time. Feeling everything because you're feeling. That give me a weird feeling. I'm going to point out, even as a psychic, I realized I'll be in a reading. I know we're a little over. I'll be in a reading and I'll get this weird, like, this weird, like, feeling. This feeling comes in. I'm like, what's that? Right? And I bring it into my system and let it load. And then you can feel immediately, oh, your husband's cheating. So, I have dark comedy sometimes. But the point is that is the ability you're going to have too. Everything I've done, I'm just a little bit ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Right? That's who I am. And some out there is like, okay, I just got the last 20 miles and it's going to suck. I'm like in the game here to tell you how to run the game. I'm like sort of a game show host of the game. Not Sensei. He's a game show host, really. Interesting. And you are going to be the game show host of your game.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this is going. You are going to be the one that decides how all the game goes when you realize you are in the game. To get in the game, you have to plug into your feelings and stay there. If bad feelings come, you have to analyze them as appropriate or not. If you don't want to feel bad, feeling bad is like a reminder. Like, remind me never to do that when you date a guy and he's Jewish and this happens and his mother who's Catholic says, you have to remind me never. And so what happens when you're flowing by life, I had this bad feeling about him, huh? Yeah. And it's like, well, what is it? I don't know. I think then the mind's like, well, I think it's because he's a Dairy Queen because all the data shows he was there and there. This difference is like, no, feel it over here. It's like you understand exactly what feeling you're trying to get to and why it rendered into that. So we're getting into the game this week. That's it. This is, okay, all the characters that believe they're in a game over there. Mm-hmm. We're separating the game. All of you don't believe? Okay, cool. We're going to run that program till version 100. And then we're quitting that one. So you'll have to pick something. By then there'll be 4 more levels. Some people decide, oh, no, I'm staying here. This is great. Best part of the theme park. I'm staying here. A lot of people are stuck there. I'm staying here. This is the best part of the theme park. But they say there's a right about Godzilla. No, we're staying here. Family dynamics. So funny. Yeah, so you get in the game or you don't. I mean, say it again. It comes down to how you feel. You have to have a safe space to look at your feelings. You can't look at your feelings in public. You can't look at your feelings, when your avatar wife is there, you can't look at your feelings then. You always are looking at your feelings, but if you're going to examine your feelings, like, what was that feeling? You have to be in a completely safe place. You have to create a safe place, and that safe place is the safest place in your home right now. So if there's a chair looking over the bay, or it's like in the bathtub, or that part of the house is the safest. It feels the safest. That's the emotions telling you this is your underground. This is your where no one goes but you. Only you and you can go in the safe. No one else can go in the safe at all, ever. You have to just go in there and be only about you and only you. Get out of the game for a minute and get back to who you are. Close out the whole world and consider you. That is what's necessary to look at your feelings. Because once you have that space created, then you're like, and like there's that moment just like release all that shit. And at that point, you're making choices where you can feel the feeling and it's only you. It has nothing to do with outside that door. Nothing. It's only you. So if it's only me and I'm feeling that, it's true. It's how I'm feeling. So you have to be behind the walls to feel your feelings to really know. And then once you know, you're like, okay, I'm going back in the game. Like boom, you're plugged back in. But if people don't make that space to control their game, they won't control it. You have to in the game say, all right, this is my space over here. Right? And the game's like updated. And I don't know, this is a theory, but I think that I think you feel how do I put this? You can feel other people's safes. Like we all go like, oh, that's just safe. Don't go back there, honey. Where do you do that? It's like, I don't know if we should go back there. I just feel like you should go in that room. People get that feeling away as something safe. Go to your safe, listen to your heart, listen to your feelings, and be honest with yourself about everything. Just you and you, just be honest. Just with you. Just be honest with you. Yes, I feel that way. Yes, I feel that way. Yes, I feel that way and that way, but they both can't work out together. I can't feel that way and that way. I can't feel both ways at once. I have to choose one way to feel. And they're like, the learning will be, oh, there's this feeling. This feeling actually gives you both feelings, but it plays out over here in a car market. Like, so if you don't feel good about either way, there's another way. You have to feel good about it, right? So we're plugging into this week. And actually, you know what? Don't look at the days of the week. Okay? Don't look at the days of the week is stop. What's the date? 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 It's like, right? Really, the way it works is like, I felt like having popcorn and I felt like a nap. That's how the world is. So it's like, I feel like doing this, I feel like that. So it's like, you don't need to see what the date is. It doesn't matter. That's like a decimal code going into the code. All right, that was 2065. It's a serial number to the game, the date.
You're revealing a paradox right now.
I know. This is Sagittarius Jupiter. So I know. I've realized to myself, like, whoa. Like, even if it's wrong, it's the way to drive it. With that belief structure, that belief will get you there. Maybe I'm wrong. I just sold you like a quick fix. Like it's like, I don't know the game, but I know this patch I built, and this patch will actually get you there. So that's what maybe I'm offering. Like, this is a patch. I don't know. I know it works. You have to try. See. And when that happens, that's what spreads. That's the awakening. And then maybe it's messy for a while. But the thing is all the knots are programmed not. So the game struggle is no. Lots of game cops stopping you. No, it's impossible. No. If someone says no, that means no. They're out of the game. They're out of the game. Tell you it's no. I'm going to stop my game and tell everyone stop yours. No, stop the game. We control. That's what the whole Satan thing is like. Satan's like, we control the game. So why are we choosing this? Miss not yourself and come with me. I know what your knot is over here.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it's like, where'd you go? Where'd your avatar go? Just wandered off into being second born or something, whatever, like buying that game. Okay? They're just taxing your energy. Taking waste time, like, I don't know. Oh, you're stuck in a trap now. Your character's stuck in a trap. I don't know. Why? Knowing is the way you feel in your heart. What do you mean you don't know? You know. Listen, you can your heart can tell you feel the truth. Why you pretend like you don't know? You know. What you're not doing is you're letting the games like signs in the game to run your choices. You create a game, you can only see the choices you've created so far. Right? So this is the paradigm shift.
Right.
And this is this week. But again, I'll keep it simple. Find a safe space in your life. Go in a safe space, ask your heart how it feels. How does your heart feel about this? How does your heart feel about that? How's your heart feel about this? How's your heart feel about that? How's your heart feel about these things? Just you and you. You don't have to share anyone in the world. If your heart feels that, well then tomorrow you can believe that this will happen. You can believe if your heart feels that way, you believe that will happen. I believe you'll go off and get divorced. I believe this will happen. I believe that will happen. Then after that, that's the creation of reality. You're like, huh, these are things I believe is going to happen. And so it is. If these things are going to happen, well then you belong here, you belong here, you belong here in the game, you belong here in the game, you belong here. The age of Aquarius is the you belong here in the game. Awakening to that. And that exercise I just gave you are the steps to enlightenment, are the steps to getting on board the ride. It's not anything you think, it's not anything on the news, it's none of that. It's actually what your heart feels you believe in. And all you do is get to your heart feels you believe in, and the universe takes control of the rest. The game upgrades according to it. They just need to know, what does your heart feel and believe in it? Oh, okay. The little lieutenant goes like, okay, we're putting you on this ride. Right? It's literally a circuit system to choose timelines.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so listen to that. That part of you is opening. And by the way, if it opens, it stays open forever. You can't go down to another level once you've seen the next. Once you see the next, never learn anyone. Now I've seen this one, you never fall back. So the idea is like, I'm falling back, I'm losing it all. No. That's a little game you're playing in the game. But the truth is you can't fall back. Every time once you see the next Disneyland, like, fuck, I'm sorry. You've got to go to that new attraction. So don't be worried about getting stuck anywhere. You're not. You'll always be forced to upgrade, always. Always. So if it feels right, do it. Fuck. You have nothing to lose. That's the thing, you have nothing to lose. Think of this. We have nothing to lose. Really. It's really
Yep.
like boom. But just give me your feelings this week. If you do it this week, the universe is tied and wired to the same stuff. So the universe is giving the energy every day to do these steps. You're just like, here, we're investing in this step. Now we're investing in this step. Now we're investing in this step. That's what the steps are. And so we invest in it. And once it's invested in, it moves on to invest in other things. That's astrology. What's it investing in now? What's it investing in now? But these are all character upgrades wherever it's investing. Right now, you're being invested in by the universe to connect to your feelings and take control of the ride through feelings. If you choose to not get on the ride, eventually come up or you'll be guided there somehow. But that's where it goes now. The game controls our feelings.
All right.
Perfect
Yeah.
ending. Thanks for going
Yes.
on that wild ride.
No, it was
Well,
amazing. Comments look like they all enjoyed it as well, saying like this is the deepest Astro Monday ever,
yes.
etc. But
It was too, I think. And you know what? Make sure. I hope we we'll talk about this after. Let's chat after.
okay.
Just for a minute. Very
Yeah.
familiar. But thank you for having me. And thanks for going over in time too. I've been allowing this if there's a longer lecture. Like my shows are going a little bit kind of going different time, like not putting rules on it. If you're okay with that. Not that I'm going crazy, but it ebbs and flows. I'm just following it, so thank you today, because there's so much new information to know about how consciousness will operate that there's going to be a lot of whoa, and then step away for a few days before you do another one.
Well, once a week is good for me.
Yeah, everyone has their rhythm.
Yeah,
Once a week.
yeah, I like it. It really sets the tone for what's going on, and it's so validating as well, of what is going on, and that it's like the right path. Um,
To the right choice. It's
yeah.
inside of you. Look, it's inside of you. So nothing in the world is ever going to steer wrong. It's inside of you. How could the world steer wrong? It's inside of you. Just go by what's inside of you, and you'll be
Hmm.
perfect. You'll
Hmm.
be perfect because
Yeah.
you are a reflection of it. You are built for it. So yeah, profound things coming, man. I've been in this state forever. My staff's like, do we really have to meet? Because they're like, "Oh, that's how they got crab crackers. Jesus, what's he doing? But I'm just these conscious collective realization. Like I feel in the conscious collective, and I can feel these conclusions. Well, the conclusion, then that must be all these conclusions of big issues and big problems. And I keep seeing in my head, and I think it's just I'm seeing all how it all worked. But the point is like, let's all allow us all to have this moment. Let's not stop anyone. Let's not tell anyone no. Don't tell anyone no. I just did it. Damn it. Only say yes. You
Yeah.
see, you're even
We're
fucked when you say not.
creators.
When you say
We
not
are
to not,
creators.
you get caught in it. It's like I still gotcha.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's crazy because you're using their code. It's crazy. Well, I love you, brother.
Love you too. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for the comments.
Thank you.
Bye
It's
bye,
a pleasure.
everybody.